Hello and happy Finally Friday from Radically Rational and RadicallyRational.com. I hold in my hand a brand new Titleist 1. Looks like it was hit exactly one time. Far OB out of bounds. So this is now Coach's property. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it because I don't play golf anymore. Okay, regarding game one, that big boy is a bad man. And altitude is real, and the Nuggets are more physical than the Heat. Miami may get a win, possibly two, but that's it. That's all I have to say about this series because nothing more needs to be said. I applaud Celtics general manager Brad Stevens' decision to retain head coach Joe Mazzulla. This whack-a-coach thing had gotten completely out of control in the NBA. So Adam Hayo Silver says he's decided what he's going to do about Ja Morant. He's just not going to tell us till after the finals. Okay, I'm fine with that. Tony Pollard. Yeah, he's a very important cog for the Cowboys. He says he's good and ready to go after recovering from that ankle surgery. Remember the injury that he suffered last year in that division playoff game lost to the 49ers. Cowboys better hope he's okay. Because if Tony Pollard is available and sound and can play a full schedule, that offense is a Ferrari. If he's not there, it could turn into a Civic in a hurry. And yes, signing Tony Pollard to a long-term contract, that'd be a real good idea. Now, with that in mind, I think this recent trend by NFL general managers and personnel people to devalue the running back position, I understand some of the thinking behind it economically, but I think they've taken this thing too far, and I think the pendulum will swing back, especially after Bijan Robinson leads the league in rushing this year and also catches about 6 to 8 passes for touchdowns. They will have to reassess this. And there's going to be some heavy pressure on the Falcons' young quarterback, Desmond Ridder, because otherwise Atlanta, yeah, I said Atlanta looks set. This is good. Raiders coach Josh McDaniels says he feels, quote, no anxiety, end quote, over his team's quarterback situation. Clearly, there are quantities of Xanax involved there. Nothing for the Astros, finally, not to love about Thursday night's 5-2 win over the Angels. Just hours after being recalled from Sugarland, Ronel Blanco got a win in his first major league start. Bregman and Abreu each drove in 2 runs. Kyle Tucker had 3 hits. Dusty gets his 2,126th managerial victory to move into 8th place on the all-time list ahead of Joe McCarthy. Not that Joe McCarthy. Okay, you SEC haters, you're just jealous. You know how the SEC uses the slogan, it just means more? You know why they use that slogan? Because it just means more. What other league could command the attention that the SEC did yesterday when they were just deciding whether starting in 2024, they're going to play an 8-game or a 9-game conference schedule? It was big news. They opted for the 8, which I understand, but they're not going to have divisions in the SEC anymore starting in 2024, and they're trying to maintain some traditional rivalries and even rekindle one. Think Aggies versus Longhorns. Oh, this debate, 8 versus 9, you knew the coaches were not going to let 9 happen. That was just not going to take place. When the going gets tough, the tough blame HR. Now, remember last month when newly hired Michigan football assistant Shimmy Schembechler, and yes, he is the son of Bo, he had to resign after 3 days on the job? See, that's what tends to happen when folks go back and find you have made social media posts suggesting that maybe slavery really wasn't that bad overall and after all. So Wolverine head coach Jim Harbaugh says HR messed up in the vetting process. It looks that way. Finally, with regard to sports, whoever at Sinclair Broadcasting decided to invest $8 billion into so-called regional sports networks in 2019 might want to polish up the old resume. That dead That debt, I should say, has proved to be quite the ball and chain. Bad idea genes. Now, turning our attention elsewhere. Did we really have to go through all of that? Did we really? So our august people in Congress finally decide that maybe crashing the national and global economies, ruining the good name of the United States, endangering our national security, and playing tribal games with our children's futures maybe wasn't such a good idea. How about that? And now these clowns, and let me say this, most of the rubber noses are on the faces of Republicans right now. They want medals for saving us. That's very much like arsonists who set 5-alarm fires and then heroically grab a hose and call the fire department. Ain't buying it. Now, turns out that the most effective witness against Donald Trump in every instance is Donald Trump. You busted once again. You're your own worst enemy. And I'm pretty sure that Jack Smith has picked up on that. Finally, this is a great way to cap the work week for us here at Radically Rational. Direct quote from yesterday from Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma. Quote, "I don't want reality." And that, my friends, is exactly why we do Radically Rational.